got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like.
And we are back with some more Sunny Hostin cringe videos. Listen, right now she is shaming black men. Right now she is shaming black men only because they want to vote for Donald Trump. She is putting them in a corner. She's grouping them up and she's tossing them out. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Pause, no diddy. In the meantime, if you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's see how this is about to play out. Let's go.
We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump.
So let me get this straight. If I vote for a party that can't define what a woman is, I'm no longer ridiculous or crazy.
So we're ridiculous now because we want to vote for Donald Trump? I mean, wow. It's crazy how you could just shame us that fast. Let's see how we doing.
I vote for a party that wants boys in my daughter's sports and restrooms, I'm no longer ridiculous or crazy. If I vote for a party that thinks they can pander to me using kente cloths and hot sauce, I'm no longer crazy. If I vote for a party that has done nothing but destroy my community for the last 60 years and open the borders in order to replace my vote and destroy my community further, I'm no longer crazy. If I vote for the party that wanted to keep me from voting, wanted to keep Jim Crow, wanted to keep slavery, the party of the Klan, I'm no longer crazy. And I'm no longer crazy or ridiculous if I vote for the candidate who's been in the office as vice president for the last 3.5 years and admitted to having a large part in pushing the harmful policies.
My thing is this. Forget about everything else. Forget about who you don't like. Let's leave emotion out of this. Are you okay with voting for a party that actually wants to put boys in women's sports? That alone right there should just tick you off to the point where you like, you know what? If they're okay with that, imagine what else they're okay with doing. Don't forget, when the Biden administration first came into office, they promised us that they will not force the on us, right? Remember the boom, boom, boom? Remember that? All right. And what did they do right after that? They threatened our livelihood, our freedom, and our finances. Don't forget about that right there.
Policies that have hurt my country, who can't answer basic questions and is quite possibly the worst candidate in American history, says she's going to bring change while at the same time admitting there's nothing she'd change about the last 3.5 years and made us the laughing stock of the world. And you think I'm the crazy one. I think it's crazy you think I should vote for a candidate based on skin color rather than how their policies will affect my life.
It's all about identity now. Identity politics took over. Yeah, here she goes rambling again. Check this next clip out.
That is, you know, the Republican Party, as I've said many times, is really the party of insurrectionists. It's the party of white supremacy, and it's also an extremist party. If you look at state, there's a new report that shows just how extensively the far-right groups and the Republican Party have intertwined. More than 1 in 5 Republican state legislators in the U.S. are affiliated with far-right groups. And that works out to about 22% of all Republican state legislators. I mean, this is what the party is today.
This is embarrassing. How is she grouping everyone like this? So she's basically saying all Republicans are how she explained they are? That seems to be a little bit off right there. It would be different if it was the other way around. She would lose it. The whole view would lose it. All they do is spew hate, if you ask me. That's my opinion. And here goes a next clip where she's calling black men unicorns. Black men who vote for Trump are considered unicorns in her eyes. Check this clip out.
These black men that he was speaking with, I'd love to see them. It would be like looking at unicorns.
Sunny Hostin over on The View, and she's very concerned that black people are waking up.
I thought it was interesting that the framing was a room of black Republicans. Where are they? Where are they? Because if you look at the stats, 81% of black men are part of the Democratic Party. Black voters consistently align with the Democratic Party. Over 95% of black women are part of the Democratic Party. So these black men that he was speaking with, I'd love to see them. It would be like looking at unicorns. Well, and so I think that the sad thing is, you know, I agree with you, Anna.
You ever notice that this show, they just like putting men down, period? You're either going to be called misogynist or toxic masculinity. I mean, the list goes on. I don't think they like men. How can they even be married? Or they're just doing this for ratings. You understand what I mean?
Is that this came from the mouth of a black man, right? And so if you're pandering yourself and your community and your history to a man like Donald Trump, who is a disgraced, one-term, twice impeached, convicted felon, we get to say now, is even more despicable.
But Clinton was impeached, right? And we don't hear anything about that. You actually have him and his wife talking in regards to Kamala, right? Let's be serious.
Hold on, guys. Let's do something a little different because I already dropped a couple F-bombs. I said, let's clean this up. I'm thinking something about Sonny Hostin right now.
Might be thinking the same
You got
thing.
it?
Yeah, I got it.
He got it. He got it. Okay. Sonny, you're not going to believe this, but I believe that black people, like white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, all sorts of people, are not in some totality just this color of their skin, that black people think different things. You might meet 10 black people and they might think 10 different things about a particular subject. And that's the beauty of being a human. I know you guys are actually radically anti-human. You want us all to be automatons. You want us all to be robots that cannot think for ourselves. And what you're very worried about is that black people are thinking for themselves right now. They are not buying into the lies of the left and all of the BS that has been pushed. And
he definitely has a point with that one right there. And here we got hip-hop artist Killer Mike letting Sonny Hostin know what it is, right? Check this clip out.
We get caught up in the soap opera of federal elections, and that's fine. But if you are concerned with the federal election, you don't know who your city council or your wardsman is, you don't know who your mayor is, and you don't have a good list of state representatives or governor.
That's rapper Killer Mike on The View talking about why he hasn't supported Biden yet. And you can already tell by the look on Sonny Hostin's face that it's going to ruffle some feathers, which honestly shouldn't come as a surprise. Given her family history, I don't imagine she would take too kindly to black people thinking for themselves. Welcome to Nurk News. I'm Nurkish. Well, it's a day ending in Y, so that means Sonny Hostin did something stupid and obnoxious on The View. This time, it's berating a rapper for not falling in line with the Democratic Party. Shocker. Today, we're going to take a few minutes to break down this clip and highlight the many, many ways Sonny Hostin is a terrible person. So I imagine a lot of you don't know who this guy is. For those of you who don't know, Killer Mike is a very popular rapper. He's also a social activist for the black community. He has a show on PBS called Love and Respect where he talks with people about social issues. He also had a series on Netflix called Trigger Warning where he gave an emotional plea to calm protests against police brutality that were turning violent in Atlanta. Now, this guy is in no way a Trump supporter. He supported Bernie in 2016, but he has said some positive things about Republicans who he thinks have helped his community in some way, and that was enough for Sonny Hostin. Here he is talking about the importance of having gratitude in keeping your imagination alive after winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album. And what does Sonny Hostin do? You guessed it. She made it all about herself so she can scold him like a child.
And your imagination has to be bigger than the room, bigger than the building, bigger than the sky, because if you keep the imagination alive, everything is possible.
That's right.
When you limit your imagination, nothing becomes as possible as it could be. So,
Now,
yeah.
you know, I'm a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
And there were some other headlines that came out. And I was very upset about it.
Yeah.
Because it was unnecessary. And you don't do that on that special night.
Yeah.
Especially for what I read about.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you is, there was an incident at the Grammys. It led to you being taken out in handcuffs and arrested.
I mean, you could just see the contempt radiating from her here. It's a bit ironic that she uses his success and moment of achievement to humble brag about herself and then chastise him for ruining that special night by getting arrested. Especially when she argues that black people in America have it worse than Muslims being hauled off to who knows where in China because our justice system just loves incarcerating them for no reason. I mean, I honestly think the hostility she has for this guy comes from the fact that he's been vocally critical of Biden.
My most important election is going to be in about a year and a half for who's my mayor going to be. I think that Andre Dickens is doing a great job around housing in Atlanta, and I don't want that to be lost. Even though we have a Republican governor, Brian Kemp, I have a good relationship with him. I like what he's done in terms of Georgia business. We've been leading business amongst all states for the last 10 years, and he brought back the Hope Scholarship and expanded it. In terms of nationally, I'm just kind of doing what my grandfather said, staying out of white folks' business and watching what happens. You know, I'm going to see what happens if there's a candidate that pops up around September, October that needs a push that's really, and policy-wise is good for us, going to jump up. But for right now, I just don't want to be involved in the soap opera because I'm much too concerned about what's going on in Atlanta on a hyper-local level.
So
You lost me a little bit with your support of Kemp, but let me tell you this.
So basically, she's just anti-Republican no matter what. You know what I mean? She's just pro-Democrat, blind loyalty, and she's definitely gonna align herself with Kamala. You know why? She's also an ex-prosecutor, so let's be serious right here. And it's funny how she went from being an ex-prosecutor to being a host on a TV show. That's a little odd for me right there.
Some of his policies.
I mean, that's some misinformation. You cannot like me, but don't lie on me. I saw someone I really respect, a black woman who's a commentator.
So you don't support him,
and
you
she
like
said,
his policies.
Well, I support
Some specific ones he named.
Beyond it, he's the governor of my state, so I have to be involved with him.
Facts.
Because I can't divorce myself. But let me say this. If you criticize someone, don't lie. I'm
Word.
not going to not have dinner with the king on the behalf of my people. I have to do that.
Let me just point some of Biden's achievements out for the black community.
Oh
right?
my God.
Well, there you go. I mean, who wouldn't want to join a party that treats you like this? Who wouldn't want to be treated like a child and then scolded the moment you have an independent thought?
You notice how she really wasn't paying attention to him? She was just waiting for him to stop talking so that she could chime in. You know what I mean? That's that listening to respond, not listening to comprehend. That's bugged out. I'm telling you, it's bugged out. Feminism is a hell of a drug.
You know, the way they treat these various grievance groups reminds me a lot of how they portray conservatives. They act like we're incapable of comprehending or respecting anyone who doesn't look or think like us. And then this is what they do when they encounter someone who says something remotely positive about someone they don't like. They bully them until they fall in line, or they cast them out as radical or useful idiots for their opponents.
I don't know how long she's gonna last on TV with this kind of attitude right here. I'm telling you, if she's married, I feel sorry for her husband. He must be going through it, huh? You see how she acts. With that being said, go in my comments, run it up, flood it up. Let me know your thoughts on all of this right here. Also, if you like what you saw, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell.